Welcome to Ballymore for the British Lions tour finale. Again, a generous response from the Queensland public and the crowd building up towards 20,000 for this historic match. 12 Australians and 3 Kiwis make up the Anzac 15 to take on the best players from the Northern Hemisphere. It shapes as a barbarian-style contest, but the Australian selectors also taking the opportunity to try different players with an eye to the Bledisloe Cup on August 5. With me, Chris Handy and Gary Pearce. Chris, Anzac pride on the line.
Yes, Gordon, it certainly is. The Test Series is dead, but the spirit of rugby truly is alive and living here at Ballymore today. The crowd are here to see creative back play. There's 2 very experienced forward packs out there, a rejuvenated Simon Poitevin and Andy McIntyre, but I think it's in those backs that we're going to experience that classic rugby confrontation. Gary.
Will David Campese and Ian Williams get enough ball to be able to extend the Lions out wide? Will the Lions pack repeat that aggression they showed in the Ballymore game up here? I think those questions and more will be answered in a very spectacular and open game. So sit back and enjoy some of the great skills that only the game of rugby can offer.
Nice. Gary Pearce and Chris Handy in commentary for ABC Rugby this afternoon. This historic match between the Anzacs and the British Lions. The only survivor of the original 7 All Blacks invited is prop Steve McDowell in the Anzac side. The other Kiwis are fullback Kieran Crowley, whose last test against Australia was in '86, and Frano Botica, who also played in that series. The rest of the Anzac backs played last week against the Lions, but the only 3 forward survivors are Miller, Campbell and Cutler. Recalled Poitevin, Gavin, McBain and McIntyre are all playing for spots against New Zealand in a fortnight. Tour captain Finlay Calder stands down from the Lions, but his successor Dean Richards was injured at training, so Scott Derek White comes in at number 8. 3 new backs also are picked, centres Mullen and Devereaux and 5'8" Chalmers, who played in the first test. In the pack, Robinson comes in for Calder, while the outstanding tight 5 engine room is intact apart from Norster for Dooley. 5 each from England and Scotland, 4 from Wales, Mullen the lone Irishman. Overcast conditions here at Ballymore, but a strong northerly prevailing, blowing away from us as we look at the McLean stand. The ground is firm and fast, and it's a very special occasion too, because 3 distinguished Australian war heroes are present for this match between Australia and the Lions. And there's the distinctive Anzac jersey. Australia and New Zealand represented for the first time. And the Australian coach Bob Dwyer said the appearance of Steve McDowell, the All Black loosehead prop, is worth the admission price alone. New Zealand judo champion 6 years in a row, and certainly the #1 man in his spot. And there's the Yugoslav Maori from North Harbour, the brilliant runner Frano Botica, playing at inside centre today. He's out to prove a point to the All Black selectors that, OK, he can't oust Grant Fox, but he can play inside centre. And there's the Taranaki dairy farmer, Kieran Crowley. He played against Australia in that Bledisloe Cup series in 1986. He broke his leg in '87 and missed the whole of the season. David Soul leads out the British Lions. Second time as captain on tour, the honours graduate, a wine merchant, and also a very skillful loosehead prop, very mobile man around the paddock. A great honour for him this afternoon. He's certainly been one of the form players in the Lions lineup. First choice loosehead for Scotland for the last 2 seasons. So there we see the band of the 1st Military District under the command of Major Lawrence Young, and they were the host band for the Commonwealth Games here in Brisbane in 1982. So it really is a splendid occasion here. The crowd is just buzzing with excitement as we look forward to what could easily prove a great rugby spectacle. And if the Anzacs need any motivation today, they should go no further than the 3 war heroes out on the field at the moment. Nick Farr-Jones now being called up, and also David Song. And Joe French meeting Sir Roden Cutler. His nephew Steve is out on the field this afternoon. Sir Roden, a VC winner in the 2nd 5th Australian Field Regiment, and in the Czech coat, Weary Dunlop, POW commander during the Second World War. There in the centre, Charles Upham, VC with Barr, the man from Christchurch, New Zealand, who has achieved his distinctions in Crete and also in the Western Desert. So Chris Handy and Gary Pearce, the stage is set. So 12 Australians, 3 All Blacks taking on the British Lions in their final match of this 12-game tour, historic tour, the first full-scale tour of Australia. Stirring occasion here, Chris Handy.
Well, Gordon, that beats a lot of things that I've seen. Historic moments. There we saw Steve McDowell standing in football gear to the tune of Advance Australia Fair. I'm sure his teammates today in this great Anzac side will be wanting to see this great loosehead prop go. And Bob Dwyer said it, they're worth the admission price. I think any prop forward's worth the admission price to a game of rugby. Truly epitomises that contact sport.
And there's David Campese, who came crashing down from his tight wire act last week in the 3rd Test match. But as they did during the war, when you crashed a plane, they put you straight up again. And Campese looking for a big one this afternoon to restore pride and confidence.
David Sorrell will captain the British Lions this afternoon.
And fittingly, the first time the Lions have had him on tour, Kerry Fitzgerald, who controlled the World Cup final in 1987, the man in charge this afternoon. Cole Waldron and Sandy McNeil, the touch judges. The Mitre 10 Anzac match against the British Lions is underway, and the first infringement by the Lions.
Well, the first scrum of the match here. Let's see whether the Jones boys behave themselves this week. They've had a battle all the way through this tour, and the first scrum, Australia, oh, sorry, Anzac's with it.
Very good scrum by the Lions. And just breaking a little too early. And Robert Jones, who's been in an incident in the last 2 Test matches, also again snapping at the Australians' heels.
Well, Robert Jones keen to get in there right into the match early, but Michael Liner, the don't argue, a special. Good start to the game.
Liner's point there was that the whistle had gone several seconds earlier, and there was no need for Jones to come at him.
I'd like to see what Jones has got in his stamina before he runs on, because he starts every game like that. He's so aggressive.
But an ominous first scrum for the Lions, Chris.
Looks good.
The Anzac team not really being able to get their scrum together yet, but as the game goes on, I'm sure they'll be able to get that cohesion.
Cutler won well. Liner and Bottiga. Lovely step inside. He met Mike Teague head on. Great tackle. Well, Michael Teague, the big Gloucester builder, has been adjudged the player of the series in the 3 test matches, and that was a no-argue tackle.
A settling period in the scrums. Andy McIntyre, the most experienced of the Australian front row forwards, getting his opportunity. As I spoke to him before the game, rejuvenated. It's a different story, club scrummaging. David Soul is certainly a handful. Drives in and across the scrum, as you'll see.
This is Tim Gavin, who's been sitting on the reserves bench for Australia. Very strong man. A little bit of feeling in the game early on, and a good drive there from the Lions pack.
We can see it in the eyes of the Lions as they run on. They really want this match, and in the first couple of conflict points so far, they've really driven over that advantage line. Enormous pressure in this scrum.
Good work by the Anzacs, unsettling the Lions prior to the put-in of the ball, but they'll need to be careful.
Chris, there must be a sense of pride too for Mr. Stuart Peterson, who wrote to the ARU and New South Wales rugby unions suggesting the Anzac concept. He now lives in semi-retirement. He's watching today in Wollongong. But it really is a wonderful concept, and we're going to see an Anzac match again when the Lions tour New Zealand in the 90s.
A lot of tolerance being shown by Kerry Fitzgerald. These first scrums to both front rows settling in. McDowell hasn't seen David Young, and vice versa. Andy McIntyre meeting David Soul for the first time in a long time, and Kerry Fitzgerald just letting them sort it out themselves.
Robert Jones kicking back towards the touchline. Kieran Crowley couldn't take it. Point Evans there, and this is Williams. Nowhere to go. His kick has gone 20 metres backwards. Well, the Australians were on the back foot last week, but not that much.
Yeah, I think this concept of the Anzacs should be extended probably with every touring team that comes out here. It's good to see that the best of both New Zealand and Australia together to take on whatever touring side does come to New Zealand or even Australia.
Number 17. T-ball. T-ball.
Cutler again doing very well, winning 2 lineouts early on, and that's Kieran Crowley's touch finder, about 10 metres from halfway. Kieran Crowley also off the test scene with John Gallagher coming in, the great man from Wellington, but he's keen to prove a point to the New Zealand selectors this afternoon. Bill Campbell at the front. Ball going infield from Far Jones's boot. Hastings now to brother Gavin. Mullen, Yay and Evans outside. 5 from halfway. Lions a very fit, mobile touring team.
Both packs very quick to break down there. You can see both back rowers really coming in, hitting each other, and that's the reason the ball didn't come out. There wasn't just that advantage of timing to get there.
Getting off the ground, number 7, the blonde breakaway that we've missed for the Lions in Andy Robertson. The English breakaway that's like lightning around the field, a great foil for the Anzacs' Jeff Miller.
It's also interesting that the centre pairing of the Lions of Devro and Mullen were probably the centres that were going to be the test centres before the team left. Both have had bad injury problems so far. It's good to see them out there today.
Derek White at the back. Jones goes himself. He's met by Miller. Gavin also lending support, and there's Poitevin on the far side. Number 1, David Soul. getting a sniff of the ball. And the referee telling the Lions players to not pull the man down without the ball, and also no punches thrown, please. And Michael Liner now will have a shot for goal. We've had just on 5 minutes of play in the first half, and he has the breeze.
It's quite interesting in that last bit of play there as Jones went the blind side. You saw Miller was able to find his way in there, get hold of that ball, and it's just he didn't have enough support around him to close it off for the Anzacs to win it. Somehow Jeff Miller finds his way into every ruck and maul to get right at the ball.
Michael Liner kicked beautifully at the stadium last week. Successful with his last 5 attempts and almost snatching the game for Australia. He missed his first one, though. Not today. Straight over the red spot on the crossbar. And the Anzac 15 has scored first points.
The Anzac, kicked by number 10, Michael Liner. Anzac 3, lead the British Lions 0.
Well, there's been a great psychological warfare, Chris, in the early scrums.
Good, and it's been tough. It'll settle down gradually. The areas that have to be addressed, though, are here from the kick-off where Australia have struggled, and that loose ball from line-out.
Good work by Paul Ackford to deflect that ball back on his team side. Good drive here by the Anzac pack, edging forward.
They've chosen the short kick-off, all 2 of the Lions. Very confident in their ability to regain possession, not unlike the All Black forward pack in their keenness to have that short kick.
Well, bad control there by the scrum. Hastings in bother. Very strong man. Poitevin the tackler. Well, Scott Hastings, 3 years younger than fullback Gavin. And those 2 brothers made their debut in '86. The first brothers to make their debut for Scotland in the same game since 1891.
What's interesting here is Steve McDowell at the front of the line out. We'll see how good his sweeping ability is off these deflections from the Anzac second rowers.
Miller didn't control at the back. Chalmers finding space. Campese back there now. And that's a big kick by David Campese. Back over halfway, and he gets some applause from the crowd. That's a change. Great play by Teague. And a brilliant tackle too by the Lions. They're only 5 metres out. Very big surge up the field by the Scarlet jerseys.
Well, your kicks are only as good as your chases there, and the Anzac ball went upfield, and the Lions were full of enthusiasm to counter-attack. Plenty of red jumpers in support.
Referee says we'll have it out, although the scrum has collapsed. Too much time wasted in the scrums. Liner charged down by Jones. Bottinger. Chance now for Maguire. This is Crowley. Williams outside. He's the fast man. Hastings couldn't get him. Crowley inside. And the referee has ruled a forward pass. Exciting counter-attack there from the Anzacs.
A great pace shown by referee Kerry Fitzgerald to even be in a position to adjudge that forward pass. Electrifying breakaway. Great hands, clever thinking by Crowley, who kept the ball going straight upfield, kept it in play and alive.
So here it is. Maguire sending to Crowley and Williams in support.
You see the balls go over. The guy at the back in Franco Bottinger was the guy who really started. He's just this totally uninhibited attitude towards playing open rugby, but plenty of players in support. Keeping possession, the most important part here, not throwing the silly pass.
So David Young, who toured New Zealand with Wales last year, looks as though he's having a problem with his ribs, and we might see another Welshman coming on the field, Mike Griffiths.
Maybe the telltale signs of Steve McDowell's presence in the scrum already showing. Very strong, powerful, loose head prop. that exposed right rib area of David Young.
And Griffiths having to pack down on the tight head side. He's been loose head throughout the tour, so that's going to disrupt things for the Lions. Chalmers. He's touch finder, 8 metres from halfway. He played for the Scottish schools against Australia in '86, and Scott Goulet was in the opposition side. Bill Campbell got a hand.
Kerry Fitzgerald correctly picking up that Michael Teague, number 6, was neither in or out of the line-out. It was Australia to throw. They determined the numbers. There was only 4 Lions, and Teague couldn't make up his mind. You watch him out to the side there. See him out forming the second line. Clearly not part of the line-out, and therefore must be back 10 metres.
Clearly offside, Mike Teague. He gave away a few penalties in the 3rd test last week at the breakdown, going in over the ball and playing it on the ground. So Michael Lynagh now, with this breeze, looking to see the Anzacs out to a 6-point lead. Lynagh kept up his great average in test matches during the recent series, 36 points in the 3 games. Just out to the right. So back we go to the 22. Anzacs in the lead by 3 points to 0. And the Anzac coach is Bob Dwyer. New Zealand coach in '93 will be in charge in the corresponding game.
Importantly here, the pressure is on the Lions. Lions have normally started quite well in their games, but here the Anzac team is showing heaps of enthusiasm.
Far Jones cleans up. That's a big pass. It'll be intercepted. This is John Devereaux. Mullen there, and the pass was forward. Referee right on the spot.
Well, quite early, the signs of some free-spirited running are showing. Not normally a pass Nick Farr-Jones had used in a test series, but giving it full amount of air.
Gavin taking play over the advantage line. Picked up by White. Miller's there. Play on, says the referee. Miller can't slip that one back on his side. The Lions have a sniff of it here. And it's been a very successful tour for Ian McGeechan and his assistant coach Roger Utley. McGeechan, a former Scottish captain and Lion himself, and he and Utley both schoolmasters. Steve McDowell disrupting the Lions scrum on the tight head side.
Griffith hasn't been made a great statement at prop on tour, and particularly playing tight head. You can see already the signs that they don't have that stability they want.
Jeff Miller caught offside. And Miller saying, I was holding on with the whole arm. You have to bind with the whole arm, not just hold on with your hand. And correct decision there by the referee. Gavin Hastings finding touch on the 22. Ian Williams has knocked over one of the ABC microphones. We'll send him the damage claim. Poitevin, third from the back. 50 test veteran for Australia. Campbell, two-hander. Good ball here. Maguire out to Campese. Campese bursts through. Slips it back. Good ball here for the Anzacs. But the Lions have spoilt. Now they come on the counter. Mullen to Devereaux. And the tackling player playing the ball on the ground. He can't do that. He has to be on his feet. Kieran Crowley penalised. If he'd got back to his feet and then played the ball, he would have been okay.
It's a very good defence there from Crowley. You can see the overlap coming up on the blind side. It came right up on it. You can see here it's been a very quick ball won by Moore there. The ball's come across. Big wide out pass. Plenty of red jumpers there. The first player to come up is Michael Lynagh to try and get the tackle. And Crowley goes in on underneath there, but see, he's laying on the ground. He must get on his feet before he plays it. A penalty.
So now it's with Gavin Hastings to try and level things up. The Anzacs have been playing with this fairly brisk northerly breeze. First 15 minutes of play. Hastings also in superlative goal-kicking form last week. 5 penalties in the third test. He took his total past 250 points in internationals for Scotland and the Lions. Swinging away. 3-point lead retained by the Anzacs. Good drop out by Liner. It's Norster doing well for the Lions. Sandy McNeil, touch judge on the far side, has his flag out for an indiscretion. Robert Norster, using the fist, has been penalised.
Good drop out this by Liner, right on the spot. Norster a little frustrated in the middle. Bit hard to see it all going on, but Sandy McNeil on the spot.
42. 42.
It was pretty harmless, I think. Ackford, you could see the ball, or the breeze, taking that ball away. Very difficult for the line-out throwers. It's quite gusty. And that is the halfway line.
So far, both packs are having problems with their body height. They're getting it too high in second phase, and thus they're not getting the drive and winning the ball.
Scrum's gone past the 90 degrees. The referee penalises, though. Far Jones plays on. Poitevin. Good set up here by the Lions, or the Anzacs. But the Lions again managing to spoil. Jones pulling the ball out of the scrum. Well, the law book says you can't pull the ball out of a ruck or scrum, but referees tend to tolerate that action these days.
Again, the Anzacs having problem winning ball that they take into the maul and ruck. Players getting isolated. Lions have been very good on tour so far to isolating the opposition.
Mark McBain, with his arms crossed there, I wonder if he's having any problem with a wrist or forearm. Also having a head attended to.
Yes, well, McBain has spent 36 test matches for Australia on the reserves bench, and he's out to make the most of his opportunity this afternoon. He's also a prime candidate now for the Bledisloe Cup. Effervescent player about the field, total commitment. Pulling the man out and holding the shoulder against Paul Ackford.
Well, we can see Fitzgerald's been watching the replays of the Test series because there's been a lot of jumping off shoulders and holding players down.
Yes, Frenchman René Ourquet didn't impress too many people during the 2 test matches. And Liner now with his kick from just on his side of halfway. Allowing for the angle, it's 55 metres.
Well, so far it's been a little bit fragmented, the play. No team's really got into the rhythm yet of what's been expected of the occasion. And I think that once either team gets their set play right and start to get a bit of continuity of ball, we'll start to see some spectacular facets of the game.
Excellent crowd, near 20,000. Liner's kick is hitting the upright. Robinson couldn't control, and that man is accidentally offside, I think.
I'm not sure if it is too much of an accident.
There's no accident about that. He's definitely offside. Straight off one player's hands and over, and played by Teague in front of the man
Well, the referee's ruled it accidentally anyway.
The poetic license taken there, I think.
Liner now. Little jink back inside. And they've lost 4 or 5 metres. But the ball comes out. Far Jones wants it. Robinson's a long way offside. Bodigan out to Crowley. He's in trouble.
Is Kerry Fitzgerald allowing a little bit of license there for Andy Robinson? If Miller wasn't bound previously, then certainly Robinson wasn't even close to being bound.
Chris,
Jones.
it seems as though the Lions here are trying to take this scrum as low as possible. Last week we saw them taking the ball very, very low, and Tommy Lawton having problems trying to hook for it on Australia's ball.
I don't think McIntyre and McDowell are worried at all about how low it is. I think Griffiths is just having a bit of trouble settling in at tight head, and there you can see in the shot Steve McDowell not making it any easier.
Well, not a good pass from Jones. Hastings did well. Taking it well above his head. And an interesting statistic, the Anzacs have taken the ball into a ruck 5 times now and lost it.
Back 10, quickly. Back 10.
Bowled over cricket fashion. Not in straight, says the referee.
The man at the end of the line out can come from outside the 10 metres to catch the ball if it's meant for him. If it's to be thrown over the end of the line out. So Simon Poitevin attempting to throw crooked.
Bring it around, straighten it up, straighten it up.
Hastings back towards Ian Williams. That's a mighty kick by Williams, landing inside the 22. Jones in the way. Off the side of his boot. Far Jones now with Campese at his shoulder. But nowhere to go there.
That was the opportunity to open the game up when the kick fails to find touch with room. Campese came the short side. May have been more opportunity to go wide, but kept the ball up in front of them.
Now, come in.
Devereaux and Mullen steaming onto it. Couldn't hold on. White goes down. Ball lost ahead. That's the 10-metre line, British Lions territory.
I must say, the number of times the ball's gone out that Lions back line, that the Devereaux and Mullins punching at midfield has been with a lot more urgency than the Lions have shown so far on tour.
This is the 15th scrum we've had in the first 20 minutes of play. Campese now. Pass toe to head by Liner.
See, the ball's gone wide here. It's gone to Campese, who straightens the play up correctly so he can open up the rest of the field. He flicks it back. Liner toes it through.
Here's David Campese into space. Ian Williams now, very quick man. He lost the ball ahead. No try. The crowd going up, and almost a moment to savour for Kieran Crowley.
And still a lot of pressure here for the Lions. Good play, good work by Campese to cut out the middleman and get it immediately wide to Williams, because that's where it was on. But this critical scrum. Watch the drive come up the left-hand side.
The Lions scrum certainly has been disrupted. And they're only 18 metres out from their goal line.
Time and time again, the clearing kick by Jones has left the pressure off the Lions.
Mark McBain, known as George the Animal.
Really stretched this time. Campbell has taken Ackford right to the back of the line out.
And Ackford did it easily. Sol, Morling with Teague and Robinson. It's a great delivery from the Lions pack. Chalmers taking play outside the 22.
Classic situation of bad communication that time. It was obvious that McBain threw to where Campbell Was, but he wasn't jumping, so the calls have gone wrong.
Mark AQ in it.
Well cleared by Far Jones. The bounce not terribly good. Liner. The Anzacs looking to maul this one back. And a big drive. Straight through the centre of the Lions pack. Miller has it. Referee plays advantage. Botica. Maguire comes through. And the referee feeling the advantage accrued.
I wonder what the advantage was there. Was the advantage 10 metres, or was it the penalty kick?
Perhaps too, the referee's allowing things to just flow on a little more than he would in a normal international.
Well, it's quite important in these style of games that the players know where they stand. It's unfortunate at times if the refereeing is a little bit unpredictable, then the players' game starts to fall away.
Tim Gavin at the front. Derek White wraps up. Jeff Miller, halfway line. Brian Moore goes in.
Well, there's been no holes there left by the Lions in either 3 games they've played. The test matches, Jeff Miller trying to find one, but little inadequate.
I think the Anzac solution is to send that ball wide with plenty of players here that are good at counter-attacking and also mobile back row. That's where the game should be played, not so much in and around those rucks.
Robert Norster, fine two-hander. Jones, Chalmers, Mullen now, Devereaux. Devereaux making ground over halfway. Campese, the tackler. Just outside the 22. Cole Waldron, the other touch judge. Campese from the opposite wing.
The Anzacs allowing the Lions to run just too far then. David Campese came across to cover Devereaux, but let him run too far. He ran across field, but still the Lions had the ball in their hands.
Campbell got a hand to it. Lions pick up the crumbs. Chalmers running straight. Back to Moore. Mullen. Outside is Evans. Gavin Hastings now. Campese with the front running. There's the pass. Back to Crowley. Australians running the ball from inside there. In goal. Crowd getting a bit upset, but I don't think it's going to worry too many people.
There's a time and a place to do it. It was worth a game in the worth a go in the atmosphere of the game. It's good work. I thought Campese had already carried the ball into touch, but then you try the loop and the cut pass in behind your own line.
A sense of deja vu as Chalmers back to Robinson. He ran straight into the Anzac pack. Good line for the Reds' backs. Steve McDowell comes out with the ball. So Robert Jones, the Welsh scrum half. 52 Joneses before him have played internationals for Wales.
What a wonderful statistic, good. Useless information. 52 Joneses before him.
Every Welshman I've ever met's always been related to Gareth Edwards, little letter Jones.
7 metres out. Devereaux. Loose pass. Lack of communication. Poitevins there. And driven back in a solid tackle. Far Jones can see it. Playing the ball on the ground against the Lions.
I'm impressed with this Andrew Robertson, the way he gets over that advantage line, and he's able to really do some tremendous offensive tackles. Great breakaway.
Liner fighting touch just 5 from halfway.
As Gary said before, neither team has put their stamp on the game, and we're only 10 minutes away from half-time. I think quality possession has been the problem. haven't been able to get any continuity.
Cutler. Bodica, beautiful hands. Maguire straightens. They're still caught behind the advantage line. Far Jones. Numbers here. Crowley looms. Kieran Crowley accelerating over the 22. Ball lost ahead. Gavin Hastings. Campbell, the first Australian forward there, in a jarring tackle. 15 metres out. Teague to Jones. Crowley broke his leg, as we mentioned, back in '87, but he certainly showed no signs or ill effects as he spurted into open space.
Well, Crowley really showed the way to back up there. That's in depth and really powering onto it. And it was, you could see it with Nick Farr-Jones as he was moving across field. You could just put it to a person running at a different pace and a different angle. That's why he made the incision.
And that's an area that let Australia down in the last 2 Test matches. Backing up in depth. Bit of playing of the ball on the ground is let go by the referee. Maguire showing good strength. Campese races back. Chalmers the nearest man to him. Ian Evans is there. Campese. Crowley's outside. So too Liner. Over halfway. Good defence by Scott Hastings. Scott Hastings' defence in the 3rd Test truly magnificent. He has one of those fashionable haircuts with the stripe down each side.
Lineouts favouring the Anzacs there quite markedly, but they haven't been able to go on with it.
Against Ackford. Paul Ackford. Barging, says the referee. Maguire. And Bodica. Campese's with him. Great hands from Campese. Lovely step. Miller. 5 metres out. Farr-Jones there. Campbell picks up. They want the continuity. Steve McDowell puts his head down like a bulldozer. Will we see the first try of the game? Here it comes. Cutler at 5'8" to Campese. Look at the line. Maguire. 3 men unmarked outside. Desperate defence by Hastings. The Lions really holding on, and Teague saves the day. Look at him go. He's been a champion on this tour. Robinson clears beautifully. Jones away to Mullen, and now it's Hastings. Williams underneath. Good tackle.
A very special brand of rugby from the Lions in defence that time. Superb commitment. Look at this for the tackle. Hastings was inside his 22, committed. He had to take the man with the ball, and he did it superbly. Support from the tight forwards, and then worked away by Teague and Hastings.
Perfect case here for just paddling the ball on with 3 men outside.
1 step too many from Dominic Maguire.
Geez, there's some commitment and courage in this Lions side. There's not many sides that can be barraged like that against their own line, do a crunch tackle and then drive their way out over the 22. Tremendous understanding and support and enthusiasm from the Lion back row.
Lions missing 2 of their trump cards, Wade Dooley and Dean Richards today, and you really get a line, Chris, of the impact they had on the series when they're not playing.
Oh, very much so. The number 8 position filled by Derek White, but I don't think he really, in all honesty, holds a candle to Dean Richards.
McDowell losing the ball ahead. Just a little bit of niggling going on at the moment, and we had the scrum 15 metres in because the knock-on occurred in the line-out. So still, the match hasn't found its rhythm, but just a couple of moments in the last 10 minutes have excited the fans. Jones and Miller. He's well caught. Liners there. Teague goes down on the loose ball. And pressure coming from the Anzac scrum, forcing the error from Jones.
Up on the side of McDowell. He's driving up on Griffiths' side. When Jones, the ball pops out awkwardly, came short. And, of course, Miller was detached, ready for him.
It's gone past the 90 degrees. Andy Robinson on the far side for the Lions, member of a famous West Country family. His father, county scrum half and cricketer, Far Jones. Williams follows, Hastings. Well, he did a Campese, and they got away with it. The two Hastings brothers that time combining to relieve pressure.
I predict here the ball will probably go back to Cutler with McDowell coming around and punching over the top. No, but McDowell takes it.
Poitevin charges through. Liner, Maguire, Campese, Mullen and Devereaux waiting for him. The Lions have edged ahead. McTeague again. And Jones's kick across field. Struggling to gain distance with this breeze, which is against the Lions in the first half.
Well, I think you should sell that crystal ball of yours, Gary. And maybe you should give it to David Campese. There was no hole there where he tried to go through.
Chris, I forgot about all those line-outs you won at number one on the line-out.
Well, Norster coming round offside in the line-out. The referee plays advantage. Boddicker, lovely hands to Williams. Ian Williams. Brendan Mullen. Far Jones. Back it goes to Jeff Miller, ever present. This is the ball the Anzac want. McDowell lost it. The referee didn't see it. Poitevin. McDowell goes in at halfback. He's being pushed out of the way. Players fringing from the Lions. They were really desperate that time to hold on.
You can see that enthusiasm in there by McDowell. He's in there after every bit of play.
Well, they haven't taken the penalty from the mark, and so the scrum packs down, Lions ball. Fundamental mistake there by the Anzacs. Only 3 points in the first half. Few people would have predicted that. A penalty goal to boot. Chalmers. But this Lions touring team, a very proud outfit. This is their 12th game on tour. They've won 10 of the 11. The only hiccup coming in that first test at the Sydney Football Stadium, where they were thumped by 30 points to 12. But a measure of their character and commitment, they've been able to come back so strongly and take the series and show so much heart here today too. Cutler at the back. Gavin couldn't control. Lions man, Robinson on the ground. There he is, not allowing fair release. Well, I think we're set for some breathtaking action in the second half.
You borrowed Gary Pearce's crystal ball, good?
I hope not.
Well, both sets of packs look fairly tired, but I think that's from a lot of the wheeling that's going on in scrums, the interference in lineouts.
So Lino, handy position. 20 metres in from the touchline. And he's made it 6-0. 2 penalty goals from the deadly right boot of Michael Liner had the Anzacs ahead. And we have a few minutes before half-time.
We've seen 2 punishing performances by the Anzacs in the second half of both by the Lions in both the second and third tests. They're not done by any measure. They've been behind in 6 of their tour matches at half-time and stormed home to win by plenty of points. Very fit. Of course, the touring party would have to be favoured.
Campbell goes high, well taken by Tim Gavin. Just watching the ball all the way, that was the secret. The Griffiths has mauled away. Moore delivers to Jones. And look at the line here for the British Lions. Chalmers, Mullen, Gavin Hastings in. Mullen 3 tries against New South Wales country. Back it goes to Gavin Hastings. Has to be a try. Brendan Mullen. his 7th try of the tour. He's the man who started the bust, and the Lions are going to draw level in the shadows of halftime. Well, Brendan Mullen has scored 3 tries in the opening match against WA, New South Wales country, and here he is again.
A great Irish athlete, stretches outside the tackle of Bodica, inside Dominic Maguire. He gets checked here. Hastings worked well, and Mullins continues in support. Great try.
Scores are level, just as they were at half-time. In the 3rd test at the Sydney Football Stadium, the Lions supporters have been in, I think, one hangover for the last week. Have certainly enjoyed themselves.
As we can see here, it was Mullen and Devereux were the centres on the Lions who looked like playing the test. But here, you can see why Mullen was in that selection. Not only did he punch it up, but he also was there to pick the ball up again, never more than a metre off it. And over, pushes over for a great Lions try.
Yes, well, Brendan Mullen, former Irish hurdles champion, a very fine athlete, and he's looked hungry this afternoon, hungry to take on his opposites in midfield. So very close now to half-time. 6-all the score. Jones to Gavin Hastings. He lost it. And that is half-time. The Lions scoring the only try just seconds before the break. It was a beauty too to Brendan Mullen, and also a nice touch for the Irish contingent, who haven't really featured in their 3 test matches. Gavin Hastings a conversion, and Liner has kicked 2 penalty goals for the Anzacs. So it's been a very willing struggle up front. Gary Pearce and Chris Handy, how do you see it so far?
Well, Gordon, neither team has got continuity in their possession in the forwards yet. Scrum ball hasn't provided the quality ball, and neither's the line out, and both are wrestling. Australia taking a lot more into the phase, but losing it there, hence the commitment of the Lions that we've seen in these last few test matches.
I think we've seen the Anzacs have certainly, in terms of penalties, are up about 8-3, and line-outs, I think they're up about 12-6, but the quality of possession hasn't been there, and that's been the problem. There hasn't been good quality possession to build second phase play. So therefore, we haven't really seen the great skills of the game. We know that both these 30 players can exhibit.
Yes, well, I suppose you have to make the allowance too that the Anzac 15 has been thrown together in the last few days. They had disruptions to their training sessions, so they'll be finding their combination, hopefully, as the second half progresses. But let's look at that try scored by the British Lions. It came with just 1.5 minutes before half-time. We won't look at that try. We're going to look at something else that occurred during the week. It was at Newcastle, and you'll recall this is the Anzac 15 taking on the Lions. Well, we saw the Gallipoli movement at the Newcastle No. 2 Sports Ground on Wednesday when the Lions took on New South Wales country. Amazing scenes at the Newcastle ground as Dwayne Vines received the ball and went over the New South Wales country and British Lions scrum. Gary Pearce.
Well, as at Gallipoli, they've sent Dwayne Vines up the wrong beach here, and the referee's really pinged him back.
Well, Daryl Harbright has been a great innovator, Gordon, but here I think, like the generals in WW1, lefties players stranded on the beaches, not on.
Well, the referee ruled dangerous play, and I guess rightly so, but I guess if you don't try something, well, you'll never know.
He gave us up the jumper, he gave us the 14-man scrum, and now the over the top, out of the trenches. Daryl Harbright, his last match as coach. Well,
a special cheerio to the Muswellbrook Rugby Club in the Hunter Valley. At the moment, they're gathered in the Valley Hotel in Muswellbrook and consuming a menu of food and beer from all of the 6 participating countries. They have Scottish broth, damper, Aussie beef, Yorkshire pudding, and 20 varieties of beer.
I think there'll be quite a few lounge lizards and sofa potatoes around the country, relaxing in their lounge room watching this.
So what does the second half hold? It's all locked at 6-all. The Lions have a strong breeze in the second half. Overcast conditions here at Ballymore. And it's been a good start to this second term by the Lions pack. Chalmers, Mullen with a very big left boot, using the breeze to perfection. Just 5 metres out from the goal line.
If you gave the kick in a match like this, you make it a beauty, and that was a classic from well inside his own half, and they've got it high into the wind, and it tumbled end over end 5 metres out from the Anzacs try line.
Bill Campbell juggling the ball. That looks to be Simon Poitevin. Liner against the breeze. This is Gavin Hastings. Brother Scott supports. Devereaux, very strong runner. Miller the tackler to Robinson. Picked up by Robert Jones, but the referee spotting the ball travelling ahead.
See here the balls, but Liner has not been able to find touch. The ball's gone wide. As we look through a number of these Anzac players, we can see that Hastings has taken up committed 2 players. Devereaux, that dangerous centre, moving up then again, and ever-present Robinson, always on the ball.
So the Anzacs have taken play from that scrum back up towards halfway. There's Big Bill Campbell, Andy McIntyre, Australia's most capped prop forward, and a very telling statistic in the line-out. Better jump by Paul Ackford. Jones, and here comes Evans. Kieran Crowley waits. Nice reply from him, 10 metres from the halfway line.
That last line out, Ackford's jumping at the front of the line, that's been superb. He puts his own name on the ball every time it comes in. He goes forward to take it right in front of Campbell. And every jump he goes up.
He's a very hard, abrasive man, and he really has been a key factor in that Lions pack. Jones, Chalmers. Devereaux, bit of space here for Hastings. Bad pass to his brother. There'll be some words said about that after the game. Far Jones. Back to Williams. Ian Williams splits a gap. Bodiger tries to pick up with one hand. The Anzacs keen to keep this ball alive. The referee playing advantage. Here it comes. Campese. This is Maguire straightening. Towed ahead by McDowell. Picked up by Jones. Williams got him by the collar. Well, the Anzacs effectively preventing that ball from coming out. Lions feed, 10-metre line, Australian or Anzac territory. There's only 3 players left in the Anzac scrum. The scrum has finished, and very good control there by the Lions pack.
Well, as soon as you detach and you're not behind the last feet of the scrum, then you're offside. Gary Fitzgerald playing advantage.
Yes, you must have a minimum of 5 players in the scrum, and there were plenty of seagulls. So the Lions now can hit the lead for the first time.
What's impressive, Gordon, is that this Lions side, there's a number of players that have come in who have been playing Wednesday games, but they've really come to a big game today and really still got that cohesion. Even though they're from a number of different countries over there, they're still as one now, as the entire team are playing as players one.
Yes, well, with a touring team, you have your midweek side, but the Lions are proving with their replacements that they all are of true international quality. Gavin Hastings, no problems with the distance. The flags are up. And the Lions hit the lead for the first time in 45 minutes of football.
That cohesion's got to be a reflection of the closeness of Utley and McGeechan to the players. Both players, or both coaches, have only played a number of years ago and really must have a good understanding with them.
Ackford goes high. He did very well. Morster goes into Moore. And there's the big drive now. Sol back with Robinson. McDowell, the tackle at number 1. Poitevin has spotted the ball. It's come out for the Lions. Mullen now, showing he can kick also on his right boot, not as well as his left. And that's a knock on by Kieran Crowley. Well, the ball did travel forward. Crowley under no real pressure. It went back once he dropped the ball, but then rolled forward. So is that a knock on? Fine line. Again, Chalmers with the Gary Owen. That one coming down near the 22. Picked up by Farr Jones and Campese. Campese follows, kicking into space, and Williams hears after it too. Look at this. Williams and Campese there. Williams all the way. They won't catch this man. Ian Williams absolutely sprinted like a man possessed onto that Campese kick. And the Anzacs back in the lead.
Well, they've come here to Ballymore to see the two fast men of the Anzac team, Campese and Williams, and they saw them both here. Good switch of play. The chip ahead they kept under control and down the line. Williams good. Shows the subtlety of selling Gavin Hastings the dummy, and has the pace to beat Evans and come around close to the post.
So Ian Williams, who recently got his Oxford blue, and a very nice touch here as the crowd are clapping. Campese coming back to his wing on this side. Well, the second half has certainly started off in the right vein. Michael Liner adds the extras, and the Anzacs back out to a 3-point lead.
Well, as we can see here, both players, Campese and Williams, looking to lift the standard of their game after recent weeks. They've really come back like true champions. Again, your kicks are only as good as your chasers, and it was Williams that really came up on Campese's kick, and he's really clipped his ears back here. And there's Campo on the inside, looking for that pass if needed. A great Anzac try.
So nearly 10 minutes of play gone. Second half. Campbell tapping the ball back. Cleaned up by Tim Gavin. Farr Jones. And good clearance by the Australians.
Finally, some definition from the Anzacs from that kickoff. Won the ball cleanly through no small means. Simon Poitevin throwing himself on the ball.
Coming off Robinson's shoulder. This is David Soul, the Lions captain today. Jones on his left boot. Again, not a very good kick, going straight up. Well taken by Kieran Crowley. Campbell was there. He cleared it back to Farr Jones. And look at the line here. Maguire and Campese. Mullen's a sprinter. Bodica, no knock on. Bodica hasn't had a lot of opportunity, but he slipped it back to McDowell and Campbell. Cutler's there. Here it comes. Oh, those Lions players are well offside. Michael Griffiths headbutting Nick Farr Jones.
Shocking blight in this sort of game. He came in offside. He was in front of the ball. Nick Farr-Jones, the Anzac captain, doesn't deserve that sort of stuff at the back of the pack. Michael Griffiths, shame.
Absolutely outrageous. I don't know why we've got linesmen here that are supposed to be stopping foul play. We saw it in the second test, and now we see it today. When they should be coming on the field, they should be coming on to do it right. But you can see headbutt right onto Farr-Jones's nose. Cheap shot.
Number 20. Ackford doing well against Campbell. Beautiful jump by him. And Chalmers' kick. Oh, that's a bad kick. Very bad kick. No real pressure there, and he's kicked out on the full. That was John Devereaux. So just a 5-man line out for the Anzacs. Miller at the back. Craig Chalmers. Campese underneath. Brilliant take. Fingertip control. Campese having a ball. Back to Poitevin. His Randwick teammate. Miller's there. Has Campese sparked something again? Oh, lovely hands. Frano Bodica to Maguire and Williams. Ian Williams into touch. What a lovely bit of silken passing there from Frano Bodica.
Individual skills here showed the urgency of wanting to get the ball wide. Every player that handled right in the middle here before Maguire, and we'll see it on the next replay, I'm sure. Williams stretching, striving, trying to make that line, reaches and loses it late, but he's gone into touch earlier.
The Anzacs by 12-9. 13 minutes gone second half. Paul Ackford again. They're in the in goal. The Anzacs must hold them there now, and we'll have a 5-metre scrum, Anzac feed. The Lions saying our ball ref, David Soul. Kerry Fitzgerald says no way.
A great shot.
Liner. Frano Bodica. Campese. Lovely pass. Crowley can't pick up. The crowd really on the edges of their seats at the moment.
Anzac backs impeded centre field. That ball coming quickly out. Some desperate defence by the scarlet jerseys. You see that ball come out. Here it's this scramble for the ball. Lions desperate. Anzacs even more so.
The Anzacs looking for their second try here. Liner now. Kicking across. Hastings waiting for it. Indecision by the Anzacs as to what they were going to do. And Scott Hastings knows what he's going to do.
Unfortunately, the ball went to toe there, but you've got the Anzacs, as the ball's in their hand and running at the Lions are starting to look a bit stressed around the edges. They must keep powering, putting the pace on, running straight, committing them. Whenever the Anzacs can be able to take the ball up, commit the larger Lions pack and move it away as they arrive, they've got them in trouble. And then their holes can open up out around those rucks and hopefully more room out wide to take to the faster players.
Cutler at the back, picked up by Teague. Well, the Australians there not catching the ball in two hands. Cutler was on his own, trying to deflect the ball back, and the Lions have swept play back upfield. It's a gloomy day in Brisbane, but certainly plenty of vibrance from the players out on the field. Line-outs to the Lions in the second half by 7-1. White tackles. Poitevin comes in, but he's driven back. Great work there by Poitevin. Very strong. Liner now. Straight to Evans. Well, I think the Anzacs, as Gary Pearce said, have got to keep the ball in hand. Yayan Evans, who scored the back-breaking try against Australia in the third test last week.
The Anzacs have looked more dangerous when they've been able to get a rhythm in their game. By taking the play up and punching it hard and keeping it in there for too long, it's disruptive. The backs don't know when the ball's coming out, so therefore they can't really get some rhythm into their passing and backing up and counter-attack off that.
Cutler taking that one, deflected by Campbell. Liner juggles. Still gains about 10 metres.
Interesting to see the step taken by the Lions forwards in the line-out. As the ball leaves the hooker's hand, they all step in. They may not do it as much on their own foot into the line. Stepping right across the line.
Worcester, Sol and Hoytman the tackler. Teague mauls it. Jones and Chalmers and Mullen. Devereaux, Hastings, went without it. Knock-on rule. Lions just crabbing across field. Easy targets for the Anzac backs.
Well, some very good pressure by Michael Liner as he really came up on Chalmers, so he moved him across field.
Almost a tight head.
The major problem today is that, again, like Australia, the Anzacs are having problems putting the Lions on the deck. They're able to control their second phase by being able to maul it and roll it around the edges.
Michael Griffiths on this side, the Lions tight head pulling down on Steve McDowell's arm.
So we're having trouble here with Brian Moore. He's now in. 12-9 to the Anzacs. A thriller here at Ballymore. Crowley couldn't pick up. He knocked on. Pass, not the ideal one there for Crowley, who had to bend down towards his bootlaces to pick it up. Just a friendly pat from Liner. Chalmers again, Mullen, and a long one for Hastings. The cutout this time. Scott Hastings on the wing. Williams. Good pass to Gavin Hastings. Body at the tackler and Devereaux. Oh, magic try from the British Lions to take them back into the lead.
Well, there wasn't any many tricks in that. It was just doing the basics of the game right, and that was moving it wide and backing up. Basic things of why people play rugby. You can see here they've committed in early and the ball goes wide, but a very good pass here by Mullins as he cuts it out and he hits Hastings at a different angle. The ball goes wide again, backing up here. The two brothers commit the Anzacs down the side, but Hastings has still got it, but still looking for support, and over goes Devereaux.
Great angle to see it here. The ball cutting across field. It's this pass Mullins does outside to the fullback in that makes the play. Just gets him a fraction wider and gets around the opposition and still with the ball in hand.
So for the third time in as many weeks, the score stands at 13-12. That could change with this kick, though, from Gavin Hastings. The Lions by a point.
Well, again, the ball's come wide, but what's shown here is Australia, not only the Anzacs, but Australia can actually learn from this. You don't have to do the switches inside to score the tries. You move the ball wide with people running hard. And the Lions have shown that by running them hard, you extend your opposition out, and thus with good backing up, you're over.
Steve McDowell. He shows the way to go. McBain slips it back. Far Jones. Bodiger comes through. Hastings lost it. The Lions still clear it. but the ball lost a head.
Interesting decision there about the ball being lost ahead. Hastings going up, and there says that went forward off his hands. A bit technical for me.
Yes, there was a law introduced this year too that when a player goes up for the ball, you can't tackle him in mid-air now because it's a dangerous tackle. So Gavin Hastings, who showed a lot of courage.
He's had a fantastic tour, Gord. Enormous value to the Lions backs.
Gavin, Bar Jones and Campese. It's a sprint and touch in goal. Ian Evans and Campese. Halfway through the second term. The Lions by a point. Not too many empty spaces here at Ballymore in the crowd. Campese steps round Mullen. Good play to Far Jones. Maguire goes inside. Tackled by Teague. Not controlled by the Anzacs. Hastings. Boddicker the tackler. Jones and Far Jones. The two Joneses behaving themselves this time. Well, there was a clash of heads, and I think it might be fullback, or is it one of the three quarters?
Brendan Mullen, I think it might be. Hard to tell.
Both he and Devereaux just throw themselves into loose play. They're like having extra back rowers. You can see there when the Anzacs attacked, they really had the Lions exposed, but the ball went to ground, and who was there first to win that loose ball was the two centres. Incredible value to be able to have centres wanting to compete for the ball so much. Then it frees up the rest of your back row to run off that.
Sol at the front. Brian Moore did well. Pick up the deflection. Devereaux. Mullen loops. Devereaux, very strong man. Real handful for Boddicker. Loose pass. Picked up by Campbell. McIntyre was with him. Again, the Australians, or the Anzacs, not controlling. This is Derek White. And Ian Evans. Lovely step. Still going. He enjoyed that. And again, the knock forward. Evans glaring at Campese.
Anything you can do, I can do better. The lovely personality, Ian Evans.
And a nice touch too. Evans and Campese exchanging grins. Jones was offside. The ball wasn't out. There's Mike Teague, who's worn that number 6 Lions jersey so proudly on tour. Liner touches, 19 metres out. Lions had the lead, 13-12, 17 minutes remaining. Campbell. Liner. Boddicker. The man with the twinkling feet. Poitevin there. He was solidly met too from behind. Feature of the Lions' defence on tour. It really has been bone-jarring and hurtful. Boddicker now. Maguire well caught by Devereaux. Gavin's in there for the ball. Here it comes. Liner, and Campese's with him. This time, Gavin Hastings is there first. Well, Campese running over the top of Gavin Hastings. Hastings didn't like it. It probably was unnecessary. Craig Chalmers with the restart. 15 minutes remaining. Coming off Robert Norster. Important settling period this. The Anzacs put into the line out. This is the place they must consolidate. There's 20 minutes to go. They to be any chance to get in front and stay in front, it must start now whilst they've got territory and possession. Good clearance from Far Jones. Campese sandwiched. Miller. Well, the Lions players fringing around this open side of the ruck and going to ground. And that's Gary Armstrong, the man from Jed Forest, reserve scrum half, succeeding Roy Laidlaw, also from Jed Forest.
Anzacs have been quite disappointing in their second phase today. We saw that last bit of play there. Jeff Miller got there, the ball was clean. The blockers weren't in there to protect the ball. Lions wanting it more than the Anzacs.
This is Maguire and Campese and Liner. They didn't fall for the dummy. Evans the tackler.
There's a Lions player hurt rather badly, I think.
This is Yayan Evans.
On the ground.
Ben!
There's two Lions players down, one there. Brendan Mullen looks, they signalled somebody onto him immediately. Of course, Yayan Evans on the sideline. Have a look in the replay. The double switch. Switch firstly back inside, then outside. It's an awkward arm fall there by Yayan Evans that injured that arm, but we missed the reason for Mullen being down.
So this is Brendan Mullen.
But should be able to see here.
Ball goes wide here. Maguire takes him up as Campese comes in. Mullen's gone in for the tackle. He's hurt himself probably on the knee.
I think it's upper arm.
He's hit Campo's knee, I think, and that's what's it's collarbone, looks like.
So things not looking too promising here for Yayan Evans. He may have popped a collarbone. And it looks like a double blow here for the Lions, with Evans and Brendan Mullen suffering shoulder injuries. Neither player able to continue.
Disappointing to be 15 minutes from the plane home and to suffer an injury.
So that's Anthony Clement, who was a late tour replacement from Wales. Now playing out on the wing. Armstrong also on the pitch in the centres. Williams. Devereaux across. Fine low covering tackle. The Anzacs want the lead though. They trail by a point.
Untidy second phase there. Jeff Miller got there to get the ball. The other back row got there, but there was no communication.
I think the referee's just checking here to see who the replacements are.
Rob Andrew.
Oh, that's Rob Andrew on the pitch. So Armstrong is not on. Andrew and Clement. And Norster round on the wrong side of the line of touch. I suppose some wags in the crowd would say he's been doing it all day. A very deflating penalty for the Lions. They've lost
two players, as we watch in the line out, he said number 5, Rob Norster, across on the wrong side. As the ball holds up in the air, there he is through on the far side. I say jumping for the ball. Referee says wrong side.
Big difference in that line out when the Anzacs throw it in. It's a bit of spaces all over the place. The Lions throw it in and they're tight as could be.
"13 minutes remaining." Michael Liner has kicked the penalty goal that puts the Anzacs in front. So let's hope this match is not decided on a line-out penalty.
Penalty to the Anzacs, kick by number 10.
2-point lead for the Anzacs. Somehow I don't think it will be.
Well, the Anzacs will win this game only if they look at scoring the next try, put their eyes on that rather than protecting that 2-point advantage. Certainly the Lions will be going for it.
Cutler protected the ball well. The Lions rucking over it and get it. No support there from the Australian pack. Jones to Clement with his first touch. Campese the tackler. Devereaux tries to maul it, and McDowell, the prop forward, is there to put him over the touchline. Now it looks as though Brian Moore's down on the far side of the field for attention. The referee running across. Brian Moore is no relation to the last Moore to play for England, Lord Phillip, the former number 8, who later became private secretary to Her Majesty the Queen. (15-13) to the Anzacs. 11 minutes remaining.
Again off that kick-off. I think Cutler and Campbell must be the loneliest men during a series. Look, every time they have to go up by themselves to catch the ball with no protection at all around them, and they just get battered after every kick-off or 22 that goes to them.
That exceptional drive, Gary, from the Lions when they hit that broken play. Like Cutler had fallen over the ball with it on the Anzac side, and then the drive that came from the Lions that we've seen through Teague and Ackford and previously Richards has been the thing which has been able to roll the player over and expose the ball to the Lions. Very good technique, developed through some hard work of Five Nations rugby.
Their play is incredibly explosive. Every element they go to, they explode onto it.
Bodica. The backs get the ball on the front foot this time. This is Far Jones. Good cut out to Williams. Up towards halfway. Williams steps beautifully. But Hastings waiting for it. And replies with interest.
Under pressure that time, Ian Williams, and kicks under pressure usually don't come out the right way. Straight down the throat of Gavin Hastings.
Derek White tapped beautifully to Robinson. The Lions 2 points down. And the short line out, or the quick line out, not on there. Rob Andrews says, yeah, throw it to me. This is Kieran Crowley. Chalmers. Desperation here. Teague has it and lost it. Well, just a lack of communication there between Teague and Ackford, the England teammates. Jeff Miller there, and Gavin. Back to Far Jones. Good constructive play by Tim Gavin. Gavin Hastings. Halfway line there. Still in play. Far Jones calls. Men outside. Line up. And the correct option as he takes play to within 9 metres of halfway.
I think all players looking a bit frustrated, Gordon. I think they know that today was an opportunity for them to throw the ball around and really get into the play, but so the ball that's gone to both sides has been so fragmented they've been unable to do anything with it.
Far Jones well caught by Sol. Australia's lost it. Cleared by Chalmers. Andrews kick for the far touchline. Coming back in play, this is Williams, dangerous. Crowley hit by Devereaux. The Lions can score, but the referee's whistle goes. Lost ahead, says referee Kerry Fitzgerald.
And Andy Robinson finds something to smile about there. I think disagreeing with the referee's interpretation. Mad scramble for the ball and great work for him to get across there, Robinson.
But fantastic play by Devereaux. He really hit those players, both those players. A mighty tackle that took both of them right out of the play.
Anzacs ahead 15-13. About 8 minutes remaining. Anzac scrum holds well. Far Jones, 16 metres from his own goal line. But the Lions know how to come from behind here at Ballymore. They did it in the second test.
This is no mistake territory. Lions put into the line out. A penalty here it'd be devastating.
David Sol and Robinson. Field goal! Chalmers! He's put the Lions in the lead. Craig Chalmers, who's done it 7 times on tour now with the drop. 1 point the difference.
Beautiful lead-up work there by the forwards, who really drove onto it and gave Chalmers all the time to put that ball over the black dot.
So Craig Chalmers, who snatched victory for the Lions against New South Wales at North Sydney Oval with a last-ditch pot, has put the Lions in the lead with 7 minutes to go. It's going to be a dramatic finale to this inaugural Anzac match.
And that's the way to take the pressure off by being in front of the kick, put into the Lions. Now they're able to dictate play, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Chalmers crash the ball deep into the corners for territory.
Derek White. Australian back rowers there asleep. Hastings to Clement. Gavin Hastings. Robinson coming through on Bottiga. 22-metre dropout. The Anzacs want a quick one here. Far Jones calling for it. Miller. Well, Teague diving in on the wrong side of the ball. He got away with it. Jones and Moore. Hastings, another pot. Big kick. It's there again. The Lions go out now to 4 points.
They're a great side, this Lions side. With the pressure's really on, you just nothing ever really makes them go to any errors. Every opportunity they've got to put the pressure on, they're there, and a tremendous field goal by Hastings.
The clock has stopped, and that was Mike Teague, who went to ground when the player was on the ground and managed to stop the ball coming out. We have 5 minutes remaining in the game, and the Anzacs now need a converted try. But Gary Pearce, we can't speak highly enough of the valour of this Lions touring party. They've been decimated today through injuries. Mullen and Evans, incidentally, have dislocated collarbones. They've brought in several of their midweek team, Donald's Donuts, and they've just gone on with the job.
They've got a tremendous understanding. But best of all, they really know why they're out there. They're out there to keep hold of the ball and control it. Every part of the play they're in, they've got full control. So early on in the tour, they found that they had problems moving the ball through their back line, but as they got to the third test, they were able to solve that. But today, I think the initial plays of Devereaux
Far Jones worked the short line out with Campbell. Can the Anzacs control possession? Liner, long cut out to Maguire. Back into Bodica. This is Crowley. They're going backwards. There's no method in the attack. Well, again, the Lions player playing the ball on the ground. Now Far Jones. Back inside to Miller. It was a good line outside. So we have about 3.5 minutes to go.
Well, 2 or 3 rucks there. The Lions could have been penalised for being offside. But then the Anzacs trying to keep the ball alive, but no one really running hard onto the ball. A lot of the play going across field. No one changing the angle.
Far Jones. Crowley now to Williams. Williams scurrying through like a rabbit. It's only 12 metres out. Far Jones again. Liner. This is Maguire. Jolting tackle by Devereaux. Crowley in on the loose ball. Again, Anzac have the scrum feed. Quite dark here at Ballymore. Heart-stopping finish. 4 points the lead for the British Lions.
Great defence by the British Lions. You can see the Anzacs wanting to stretch them out wide and trying to punch it through the middle there, but they would just put them to deck every time.
Well, can they work something with Campese here? Gavin running straight. Back to Cutler. Far Jones. Liner. Bottiga. Liner loops. And offside play by the British Lions. 2.5 minutes to go. They've got to take a tap kick, I think. Penalty goal's no good to them. And they've been rehearsing a few tap moves. Now's the time, Gary Pearce, to pull it out. Perhaps an up the jumper or something.
Well, I think it's won't be. We don't too much showbiz in this, but they've just got to get it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it in the hand. Control it. They've got 2.5 minutes to be able to get this try, but they have to do it with the ball in their hand. Don't take any soft options. The Lions here, I think, will play offside. They'll get there to try and stop the momentum of the Anzac team when they've got the ball. So it's important the blockers get in, the rippers get in there, and they control the play, force the overlaps.
So just 2 minutes remaining. McDowell has it. Liner. Not a good pass. Chalmers there. And Jones clears. And into touch from Clement. So the Anzacs have the line-out throw. Clement taking the ball into touch. We're on the 22-metre line. The Lions have the lead by 4. 1.5 minutes to go. Good jump by Ackford at the back. But the Anzacs drive in and get the scrum feed. Anything can happen here. 80 seconds remaining.
Well, very important scrum here. You'll see David Campese and Crowley will live in this back line when the ball's won.
Crowley lost it. And Hastings off the side of his boot. But no advantage there to the Lions, so a scrum feed on the 22, and that may well have been the Anzacs' last chance. Just 30 seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds remaining. And the scrum coming past the 90 degrees. So the British Lions look as though they're going to end on a triumphant note here. Controlled by White. And Hastings finding touch 25 metres out. This will be the last set piece of the game. Time all but up on the clock. Far Jones, and it didn't go in the 5 metres. So the Lions will opt for a scrum. Jones clears well, and Chalmers finds his touch. Well, time is up on the clock. Has someone forgotten to ring the hooter? Fitzgerald's looking at his watch. This is surely the last line out. Norster did well against Cutler. Now they go through Andrew. Andrew kicks the ball into touch, and the Anzac match is all over. The Lions have won it by 19 points to 15. 11 wins from 12 games, and that was a performance of true character by this outstanding British Lions team. Running through the scorers, Brendan Mullen and John Devereaux. Hastings, a conversion, a penalty goal. Hastings also one field goal, as did Craig Chalmers. And for the Anzacs, Ian Williams a try, one conversion by Liner. Liner kicked 3 penalty goals. The final score, 19-15. And what a note to end on for Mike Teague and his teammates in this British Lions side, Gary Pearce.
Well, full applause for the entire Lions team. Not just the team that went on today, but every player that's played on their tour so far. Because every time they've come onto the field, they've been able to control their destiny. And that's been taking the ball, being uncompromising in the way that they've been able to play the set play and line out and scrum, but also their great enthusiasm and explosion that they've got in their second phase game. Their backs have developed on tour, and today have really shown what a great side.
Now is the hour being played here at Ballymore. But the Lions have certainly shown the way, and Northern Hemisphere rugby can hold its head high. And brother Gavin there. Scott Hastings had the ball stuffed up his jumper. So Gary Pearce, a very touching, emotional moment for these British Lions. It's Australia now to play the All Blacks in 2 weeks' time at Eden Park for the Bledisloe Cup. There's a lot of work to do.
There certainly is. What was shown again today, in the really important parts of Australia's play, the set play, we really need to improve. So it's quite important that we really concentrate on those set areas.
Okay, let's go down now to Chris Handy.
Been a great tour. Well, that's right. I mean, this game was as hard as all the previous ones we've had. We've probably won majority of the games just by a few points, just that score. And obviously this one was no exception, but a tremendous way to go away from the tour. But
the concept of the Anzacs, do you think it's one which has got great merit and should be continued like the Barbarians in UK?
I think so. You know, obviously the Barbarians try and chuck the ball around, and obviously the Anzacs did that today. And you know, I thought it was a bloody good game. There's lots of running, and hopefully, you know, we entered into that spirit as well.
And a little tete-a-tete with David Campese there just near the end.
Yeah, I tried to tell him a joke, but he didn't accept it. He didn't like it, so I'll have to get a few more for him for the after-match dinner.
Congratulations and well done on the tour.
Cheers. Thanks.
Cheers, Gavin.
Well done, boys.
Okay, that was Gavin Hastings speaking with Chris Handy. Well, that completes our coverage of this historic telecast. You can catch a replay, though, later tonight on ABC television. Thanks to Gary Pearce and also to Chris Handy, but still plenty more great rugby action coming up on ABC Sport. For instance, we have New Zealand versus Argentina, Japan versus Scotland, and the touring Oxbridge, combined Oxford and Cambridge, take on Queensland and Randwick. And don't forget, live from Eden Park, August 5, New Zealand versus Australia for the Bledisloe Cup. Gordon Bray for ABC Sport.